Group 4. Debate. Presentation.
Pleasant evening to each and everyone. Good evening, Almighty. Good evening, classmates. So we are the Group 4 and the first presenter of debate for tonight. So my name is Charmaine and then Shaw, the first moderator for this evening. So we are here right now in front of you, ladies and gentlemen, to let all of you witness the debate with these two debaters. So the debate is related about to family planning, which is mainly about using of contraceptives. So the issue about using of contraceptives is very and openly in becoming a mainstream topic. This has been a long and hot topic of debate among the church, religious groups, and its users. While many promote the using of contraceptives, there is still a lot of arguments exist against it. But the question is, what really is the general consensus regarding this topic? Now let us hear from this two debaters who will debate and exchange some point of views regarding this matter. Whether using of contraceptives is really a good thing or not. Let us welcome one of the debaters who is pro and will share her ideas and try to convince us why we should agree on using of contraceptives, Ms. Shalaway Poole. And the next debater is the anti and will share his ideas and try to persuade us why we should go against the using of contraceptives, Mr. Jinboy Alright, so this is a time-limited debate for 4 rounds, 1 round for the opening speech, 2 rebuttal rounds, and 1 round for the closing statement. So each debater has 3 minutes for all those rounds. So the rule is, as I say start, the first debater will throw her opening speech, and as I raise my hand, this means the debater has 1 minute left, and as I put down my hand, this means the debater should stop because the time is up. And the next debater will wait for my hand signal and the word start before he throws his opening speech. And then again, as I raise my hand, this means the debater has 1 minute left, and as I put down my hand, this means the debater should stop because the time is up. Alright, did you get it, debaters? Okay, so the first debater who will throw her opening speech is the group 1. So this is Shalaway Poole, debate.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Shalaway Poole and I promote the using of contraceptives. And I strongly agree on it. One of the reasons is based on the personal feedback one of my fellows using of contraceptives is very beneficial. Because according to her, it does not only give you the chance to enjoy sexual pleasure, but it also promotes procreative liberty. When we say procreative liberty, it is the freedom to decide whether to have or to have an offspring. It is the freedom of how many children we want to have. This also includes choosing when we want to begin having children, how far apart we want our children to be, and we want to stop having children. Using of contraceptives is everybody's right under the United Nations Declarations of Human Rights. Or United Experts says every woman and adolescent girl has the right to access contraception and family planning services, information and education. Under international human rights law, that access to family planning and contraception services free of coercion or impediment is a component of the right to health that is central to women's autonomy and agency and key to realization of women's right to equality and non-discrimination. Life, sexual, and reproductive health rights, and other human rights. Delaying or spacing babies allow women and men to follow education and career goals that may be interrupted by having children. This empowers and increases our ability to earn more. With fewer children, families are also able to invest more on this. When we should not agree, when in fact it gives us the chance to enjoy sexual pleasure without worries and give us the right women to decide over to our body, over to ourselves and body.
Okay, Mr. Jingoy, please start.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm a Jingoy Kapil and an astronomer was the idea of using a contraceptives by that is because I belong to a religious group who believe that the using of contraceptives is totally against the commands of God. If you believe in God, you will believe in me. That sex and recreation is not just by the pleasure, seeking the pleasure of sex is supposed to serve as a reminder of our need that we are obligated to reproduce in it's supposed to serve the product in the 1968 Paul issued the landmark of encyclical leader the human human life is the re-emphasize the church construct the teaching that is why that is always to intrinsically life. Wrong to use the contraception to prevent the new human being from coming into the sentence. For contraception to anyone, action means the order in the anticipation of the conjugal act or the sexual or intercourse or in the accomplishment or in the development of its natural consequences process whether as in the or as a man to render the progression possible according to the book of Genesis chapter 1 verse 11 and 9 chapter 1 and 7 verse chapter 35 verse 11 from the beginning of the Lord commands of the beautiful and fertile and the multiple husband and wife, beautiful God's plan for the marriage in the beginning for of a new life. For God is life itself in other words, God wants the families to grow. That is why we should go against of the using of contraceptives because by doing so, we can grow and multiply our family and it is like being a good follower of God is like following the command of God.
Alright, it was just the start of our debate, but it seems our debaters are all ready for this battle. Now let us hear both of them as they start the first round of rebuttal. Ms. Shalime, please start.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, speaking of growing family, did you all know that according to the recent research of Alexa Answer website, there are approximately 9 billion people on the planet Earth. If we say that the average family size is 4 members, then the number of families would be approximately 2.25 billion. So many, right? And that number is actually declare that the world is overpopulated and it's still increasing every day, every hour, every minute, and even in every second. There are 4 babies born per second or about 259 babies born per minute worldwide. So we should really promote the using of contraceptives because easy, affordable, and reliable access to contraceptives is one of the major factors in preventing unplanned birth and is one of the stronger overpopulation solutions. Overpopulation is the state whereby the human populations rises to an extent exceeding the carrying capacity of the ecological setting. In an overpopulated environment, the number of people might be more than the available essential materials for survival such as transport, water, shelter, food, or social amenities. This regularly contributes to environmental deterioration, worsening in the quality of life, or even the disintegration of the population. And all of that also contributes to ecological degradation, increased conflicts, and a higher risk of a large-scale disaster like pandemics. We would never want to experience another pandemic, right?
Mr. Jingoy, please start.
Ladies and gentlemen, in my opinion, hear the claim that our world is overpopulated and that using of contraceptives is one of the solution, well, then I think the recycling can be the solution. We can start and have the solution in ourselves first. Have a discipline because having discipline in ourselves makes us aware, that makes us really realize that using a contraceptive is not the solution of overpopulation, but rather the mindset that if you are not willing to be a parent, you will not engage. So, to sex instead of advocating the using of contraceptives, we should rather encourage and teach people the sacredness of sex. It should not be done. If you are not ready to be a parent because in the first place, sex is given or given by God to have and create. Another human life. Sex was designed to be a sharing of love. Because God believed love first growth, and so that one of the natural outcomes of its children, and that is not a thing that should be abused by anyone. It should be done of the loose, so we can most not get to if you are not ready to be a parent, and if you are did this discipline, so it can be a big help to prevent of the crisis of population.
I get your point, Mr. Antay, but let's be practical here, ladies and gentlemen. And I strongly disagree that sex should be enjoyed and to have children. The world has changed so much. Nowadays, we cannot deny the fact that a lot of people do sex not because out of lust, but because to strengthen the relationship between the couple. And I believe that having discipline to ourselves and telling to ourselves that if we are not ready to be a parent, we should not engage to sex. It's not really enough to help preventing the overpopulation. People have been doing sex for a long time because our body needs it. Teaching people not to engage to it will take so much time while letting them to use the contraceptives is more accessible and very easy solution to overpopulation. Again, we wouldn't want the world to reach the limits of the number of overpopulations unless we want to repopulate the world after the apocalypse. When we say apocalypse, it is the complete final destruction of the world as described in the biblical book of Revelation. We wouldn't want it. We would never want it, right? So we must agree on using of contraceptives to prevent it to happen.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the claim of my opponent there is a very frightening to her, but I tell you, if you believe in God, you won't fear anything as the Isaiah book, chapter 11, verse 10. God said, so do not fear, for I am with you. So do not be taken away by the fear of the destruction of the world, but rather fear the things that you would go against to the command of God. By promoting of using of contraceptives only makes it easier for the people to have sex outside the marriage. Can lead to people to have a more sexual partners because of the less the risk of conceiving a child. It also leads to widespread sexual immorality and allow the people to prevent the married people to have sex purely for enjoyment and not for the production anymore. So be with me and go against all using of contraceptives because the church has required that using of any contraceptives is the equivalent of abortion which reminds any God is discounted and is a big sin to the eye of God.
Alright, that was so intense. So we all hear the different takes of the debaters about using of contraceptives.
But this side believe that using a contraceptive is very beneficial, that you can enjoy sexual pleasure. At the same time, it promotes procreative liberty, and it can be one of the solutions to the problem of overpopulation in the world. While this side is said that using a contraceptive is against the commands of God. If you are not ready to be a parent, you should not engage in sex, and that discipline to harm yourself is the solution to the problem of overpopulation. And God forbid the use of contraceptive because it is equivalent to abortion. For that, I can say that using a contraceptive choice is often strongly influenced by our experiences, opinions, and beliefs. But the question is, have they already influenced your choice about this issue? So I know that some of you are already confused which side to believe in. But let us hear once again from these two debaters who will try to convince and persuade us more for their additional plays and arguments as they start the second round of rebuttal. Ms. Shirley, please.
I respect the opinion of my opponent. Ladies and gentlemen, but I beg to disagree with his belief a while ago that by using of contraceptives is equivalent of having an abortion. Let's be realistic here. Using of contraceptives and abortion are both different things. Using of contraceptives prevents pregnancy from happening in the first place, and an abortion stops unexisting pregnancies. So there's no abortion happens in the first place when the only thing contraceptives to do is preventing pregnancy. And that's very clear thing, right? And the main reason of promotion and using of contraceptives is not because to let people to have sex outside marriage or out of lust, but because to prevent unwanted pregnancies, mostly teenage unwanted pregnancies, which is a good thing because if unwanted pregnancies are prevented, it reduces the cases of unsafe abortion. And for the knowledge of everybody, unsafe abortion is one of the leading causes of maternal death worldwide. According to WHO or World Health Organization 6 out of 10 of all unattended pregnancies and induced abortion. Also, around 45% of all abortions are unsafe, of which 97% take place in developing countries. Unsafe abortion also is the leading cause of maternal deaths and morbidities. It can lead to physical and mental complications and social and financial burdens for women, communities, and health systems, and lack of access to safe, timely, affordable, and respectful abortion care is a critical public health and human right issue. But all of those can be prevented if abortion won't happen at all by using of contraceptives. By also using of contraceptives, teenage people can prevent unwanted pregnancies. Unwanted pregnancies of teenagers that can have negative impacts on their relationships with other people and ambitions.
Mr. Lingoy, this part.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, maybe my opponent's claim here is true that using a contraceptive prevents unwanted pregnancies, but still is the thing do not protect anyone. Protect you against STDs and HIV. You may be already enjoying on having sex using of contraceptive, but you must be aware that and every sex it comes with responsibility and consequence. A large clinical research study conducted in 4 African countries found that the significant difference in rates of HIV infection among women. Using of the highly effective reversible contraceptive methods. The study showing that is a method had either level of safety and effectiveness in preventing pregnancy, but the study found, however, that incidence of HIV and STDs infection among all the women the participants was high, and the average of 3.8% per year, indicating that HIV remains of a significant personal risk and public health challenge for the many women. I tell you those the diseases that I have mentioned are the more people that you that just by the hearing, if I do not intend to offend those the people who have it. But let's be realistic, as well those diseases have still no cure up to this day.
So speaking of HIV, our government already addressed that issue few years ago. They have already pursued the HIV AIDS Policy Act. Also, the government pursued a bill of which is the Responsible Parenthood and Reproductive Health Act of 2012, also known as the Reproductive Health Law or RH Law, which is officially designated as Republic Act number 10354. It is the Philippine law that provided universal access to methods on contraception, fertility control, sexual education, and maternal care in the Philippines. The RH Bill aims to achieve the following primary objectives. First, it will give parents the opportunity to exercise their rights freely, responsibly, plan the number and spacing of their children. The bill is truly rights-based. Second, it will help improve maternal, newborn, and child health and nutrition and reduce maternal, infant, and child mortality. The bill is primarily a health measure. The bill also gives women more opportunities to finish their education and secure productive work by freeing from unremitting pregnancies. Access to family planning information and services ensures maternal health and allows women to pursue opportunities in education and employment, and thus will enhance their social and economic status and that of their families. The RH bill will help women become self-reliant and acquire self-esteem. It will help reduce poverty and achieve sustainable human development as we the RH bill also will most definitely help lower the incidence of abortion by preventing unplanned, misdeed, and unwanted pregnancies, which are the ones usually terminated. Lastly, promotion of reproductive health is cost effective. It is most less expensive than the mega project of government but has more beneficiaries. The improvement of maternal and infant health and reduction of maternal and infant mortality will generate savings for the government, which could be channeled to education and other basic services. See, even the government care about us. So that's why we should really support the using of contraceptives because it is not only about us, it is also for the goodness and sake of our society.
Yeah, good for our society, but not good for the health. It's a user. For the knowledge of everybody, using a contraceptive has a lot of certain side effects, though women. Some of those it can increase your blood pressure. You can also experience breakthrough, the bleeding, and the spotting in the first few months of using contraceptives. It has been likened also to the crisis, the risks of some serious health condition. Studies have shown that the using of contraceptives can increase the risk of acne, bleeding, or spotting between the periods. Bloating, blood pressure above your usual rates, depression, fatigue, feeling dizzy, fluid retention, headache, press, appetite, insomnia, melasma, dark absence of the face, put the window, this tenderness or pain in the breasts of vomiting and weight. In some women, bingley suffer these ailments. Injections for sex have been effective for the control, but the pure reality was that the available formulation of the pill also the most potentially life-threatening health hazard. That is why we should really not afraid of this. We should not let you women to sacrifice your life, body and health when her is actually better option than this. So be with me. Let's go against using of plastics.
Okay, as you can see in here, both of the debaters have strong stand and point of views until this round about on using of contraceptives. On this side, she additionally claimed that abortion is far different from using of contraceptives, and that the main purpose of using contraceptives is to prevent unwanted pregnancies, which is a good thing according to her to avoid unsafe abortion. She even said that the government pursued the RH Law or Republic Act number 10354 to support the using of contraceptives. While on this side, he additionally claimed that using of contraceptives does not protect anyone, does not protect you against STDs and HIV, and that using of contraceptives has a lot of negative effects and that it's risking the health and life of women. It really seems that both of them has a point on this matter. But the question is, have they already convinced and persuaded you to decide to be with them? Okay, as we go along to our last round, let us hear both of them once again for their closing statement. Ms. Shanami.
Once again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As this is my ending speech, I just want to say that my stand regarding the using of contraceptives is still strong as how I am on my opening speech. Yes, using of contraceptives may really have side effects, but let me, everyone, the people behind to create and pursue the using of contraceptives has really no intention to us. Women to utter those things are intentionally made to help us and give us solution to such existing problems in our society, such as preventing unwanted pregnancies and reduce unsafe abortion. It is just a bonus that we may enjoy having sex with no worries. As one of the women, as my opponent referred here to say, I am saying that using of contraceptives is a simple and highly effective medicine that women take and use not only to prevent pregnancy, but also for other reasons. No different to a vaccine given to children to prevent polio or an antibiotic to treat pneumonia. For countless people around the world, access to contraception is a matter of life or death. And having already transformed the quality of life most of the women worldwide, and with the potential to transform the lives of at least 200 million more, and responsible for preventing the deaths of hundreds of thousands of women and many millions of babies. Using of contraceptives may well be the world's most life-affirming medical discovery. We don't need to mask that story, and it also provides services such as comprehensive sexuality education, safe abortion, antenatal and postpartum care as essential to sexual and reproductive health. Lastly, choosing not to become pregnant is, I think, is an exercise as our right as a woman to plan when we are ready or not to begin or extend a family. That is why we should really agree on using of contraceptives because I believe every woman has the right to do that or to choose that not for ourselves only but also for the goodness of our society. Thank you.
Good evening once again. This my eating of speed as well. Stand against our blessing of contraceptive is still strong as my belief. Again, my claim against abusing of contraceptives is all based on my true feelings in the data for me and all the kinds of my opponent. Here are the mind of just people in the some point, but we should really go against using contraceptive because abusing of contraceptive promotes taking advantage of the things that should be done. Say, secondly, and no matter how the practical or the trend, it's gonna deny the fact that this has a lot of negative effect to the society and the risk of the health of women is also taking away from the chances of those children who have not been given a chance to be born in a way. The chance of those children who live but did not know that while they are not taking up or preventing the pregnancy, there is a lot of women or there that who cries, who be and pray to God just to get the pregnant, just to have a baby. Yes, that's really a real thing. You will just be on it day. They are more than prevalent, so they can be pregnant and have the babies, and the babies are the blessing. It's in and taking nap that if ever your mother probably uses contraceptive before they have you, then maybe you are not in this where you're not probably enjoying the life that you have right now, and if ever my parents used the contraceptive during those times that they were making me. And hopefully here you won't have no the chance to have a classmate that is so handsome and so attractive as me right now. Yeah. So let's go again. So using a contraceptive so that we are sure to have the chance to have and see the wonderful gene as we in the future just well you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, debaters, Ms. Shalame and Mr. Jingoy, for different thoughts, ideas, and views that you have shared about using our contraceptives for this evening. So both of them are so firm for their stand and beliefs, and it is really amazing that we have learned something new about this issue. So I hope all of you audience here listen and get the ideas of the debaters, and I will listen to you, what's your choice, and we'll decide to do. Just like I said earlier, that using of contraceptives is very and openly in becoming a mainstream topic. It has both positive and negative effects to us and to our society. But all of us may have different ideas, thoughts, and views regarding this matter. One thing is for sure. We are the ones who is responsible and accountable for our decisions. So as we end this debate, I just want to say that regarding on this issue, we are the ones who is responsible and accountable for our decisions, whether it be in favor or against the using of contraceptives. My name is Charmaine Intention.
My name is Shalamain.
My name is Jingoy Kate.
And we are officially closing this debate. Once again, thank you so much.
Members of Group 4: Charmaine Endencio, Shaila Mabwan, Jingoy Katil. Thank you for watching.